Floyd compilation album Relics. It was released in 1971. So this album, I got this in 2007. I don't really remember when. It would have been probably it would have definitely been sometime after I got Piper, because the reason I got it was I wanted to hear Arnold Layne and see him play. I was really into Syd Barrett because of Piper, and I just wanted to hear more of his songs, and this was the only way I knew of really to do that, was by getting this. And at the time I used to see this in the store everywhere, from what I remember. But I also thought it had just a cool album cover, so I kind of wanted that in my collection, which Nick Mason, I think, drew a picture, and that's what this was built based on, which it's just, I think, a really cool cover. So the album as a whole, it only has one new song on it, and it has some songs from the Syd time, and then there's some songs from Saucer, and there's some songs from More, and then there's the B-sides to two singles, which they didn't actually put the singles on here. And I know I've listened to both of them before, but I can't really remember that much about them right now. I should have listened to them before I did this. So I'm mainly just going to kind of list the songs and not really spend a lot of time on most of them, because most of them I've already talked about before. The first song, Arnold Layne, I'm pretty sure I talked about in my in my Piper video, because it was included in one of the bigger versions of Piper I have. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I think it was either their first or, I don't know, one of their early singles, Syd Barrett. It's just kind of a Syd Barrett pop song thing, early Pink Floyd type song. And I like it a lot. I think it's just a really catchy song. The second song, Interstellar Overdrive, the instrumental from Piper at the Gates of Dawn. The third song, See Emily Play, another great early Syd single. And this one, for a long time, was my favorite Pink Floyd song, and I would just listen to it over and over when I got this album. Definitely probably the song I've listened to the most off of this particular thing. Then Remember a Day, the fourth song from Saucer Full of Secrets. The fifth song, Paint Box, was I think another one of the early singles, a Rick Wright song. It's good. I think I talked about this one also in the Piper thing, because it's on that big Piper set that I have. The sixth song, Julia Dream. This one was another kind of one of my favorites off this particular album that I didn't have anywhere else. And it was a B-side, I think, a song written by Roger. I think Dave sings it. It's kind of a slower acoustic ballad thing, and I've just always thought it was catchy, and I liked it a lot. Kind of darker sounding. It's got all these weird noises and stuff going on. I think it's the keyboards in it that are really cool, but I don't know, just whatever's making kind of the background noise in it is cool. And then seventh song, Careful With That Axe Eugene. It's a studio version. It's cool, but it's not as good as the live version from Montgomery or Boom, or however you say that name of that album. So that's the version of that song. I would definitely check out the live version rather than this studio version. But it's fine for what it is. And I think that was also a B-side, but I'm not positive. Then the eighth and ninth songs, you have two from More. I can never remember how to say the name of this one. It's Cirrus Minor, I think. And the Nile song. Then the 10th song, Biding My Time, is the only track that's new to this album, apparently, and it's one that I remember listening to back when I got this album, because it's weird, I never really listened to this album as a whole a lot even right after I got it, because I knew a lot of these songs from Piper already, and I'm pretty sure I got this after I got Saucer Full of Secrets. Yeah, it definitely would have been after that, because I knew Remember a Day already. So yeah, I just didn't listen to this as a whole a lot. I would listen to individual songs on here, and this one I usually skipped because I just kind of found it boring as a teenager or whatever. But Now, I mean, I still kind of find it a little boring. I actually kind of like the part now that I would have hated then, which is the long kind of instrumental bit at the end. Yeah, I think that's kind of the most interesting part of the song, but it goes on a little bit too long. The kind of parts where Roger sings, like, I just don't really. I listened to it twice and it just didn't stick in my head at all. But so I mean, it's not a horrible song or anything. It's just not like really that interesting. And then the album ends with "Bite" from Piper. So, man, I've never really listened to it a lot on here because I always listen to it on Piper. Like I basically always skip the Piper songs on here because I just like them in the context of that album better. So, Relics, I'm not going to rate it or anything, but it's just kind of a cool, little interesting compilation, and it's definitely worth checking out if you're a big fan of Pink Floyd, but it's like not really too essential anymore, I don't feel